The Michigan Football Report post-game instant reaction is presented by BetQL. Go to chatsports.com/MichiganQL if you want to win your bets on NFL Sunday tomorrow. Trust me, I've been doing pretty good. For the last 5 weeks, I have had winning weekends in the NFL using all BetQL picks. Now, want to get into this Michigan 33-7 win over Northwestern. So go down in the comments section and give me your one-word reaction to this win over Northwestern. Folks, let me just kind of think off the top of my head. Whatever. Okay, whatever. It's a 3-3 now, 3-4 Northwestern team that really struggled most of the year. Got a win last week versus Northwestern. But everyone, including the fans, including the team, including the coaching, was looking forward to the game next week against Michigan State. So whatever. They struggled in the first half, really put it together in the second half, at least in the ground game, at least on defense. So I'm going with whatever. Go down and let me know down in the comments what your one-word reaction is. Michigan beats Northwestern 33-7, and it was really done all on the ground, right? We were kind of surprised here. We're looking at the stats here. Cade McNamara, 1 passing completion in the second half out of 3 attempts. It was all done on the ground for the most part. Blake Corum, 19 carries for 119, 2 touchdowns. Hassan Haskins, 23 carries for 110 yards, also with 2 touchdowns. That was the scoring for Michigan really throughout this entire game. They went for a 2-point conversion late in the game, didn't get it. That's why you have the funky 33-point score in this ball game. So Michigan will be 7-0 heading into Michigan State Spartan Stadium next Saturday. And if you like being 7-0, if you love the win today, why don't you go down in the comments section, give me a go blue, because we all saw the Michigan versus Michigan State Twitter wars that happened this week. At least if you're on Twitter actively, you likely saw them. And it's already starting on YouTube. I had people on my video on Friday, on Thursday. No game for Michigan State this week, so they were in my comments all week. I was blocking people left and right with go green, smoke green, snort white, whatever their chant is. I don't know what it is. Make sure we're lighting it up with go blues. Head down in the comments section right now. So this is the game we're looking forward to. It was tough with a bye week. And then Northwestern, a 3-3 team that really, got a win against Rutgers, or, they were coming in really limping, but it did get their best win of the season last week to make this one a little bit interesting. But now we're looking forward to Michigan State. It's going to be the most, anticipated matchup in this rivalry of the century, right? 21 years this century, 22 seasons if you count 2000 in the century. This is the most anticipated one. 2 7-0 teams, 2 top 10 teams. And if Michigan wins this one, I'm going to make a crazy statement right quick before we get into the Northwestern win, is if Michigan wins this game and goes to 8-0, no matter what happens the rest of the season, unless they lose to Indiana or Maryland, as long as you win those 2 games, you should win. I'm happy with the season, right? That means if they finish season 10-2 with Ohio State loss, Penn State loss, I'll be happy with the season. You might say I'm crazy, but that's just my take. Now let's take a look at this Michigan win over Northwestern. It was a weird one in the first half. Michigan felt like they were dominating the entire half, and Northwestern got kind of a fluky run. It just like Michigan just had guys out of position. Northwestern had a long touchdown run, and they got 7 points on the board. Then Michigan was about to score again before halftime, and they ran an interesting play call, kind of misdirection reverse to A.J. Henning, who ended up fumbling the ball. So Michigan could have been up 17-7, ended up going into the half 10-7 on 267 yards in the first half, 121 through the air, 146 yards on the ground, 1 turnover. Pretty good half statistically for Cade McNamara, okay? Completing just under 80% of his passes, 19 of 24, 121 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. And I feel that he is really being held back, folks, by Josh Gattis. I think the play calling, the creativity, and just the expected execution on third downs and then, of course, inside the red zone are really lacking for this team and for this program throughout the year. So those are J.J. McCarthy's first half stats. Cade McNamara's first half stats. We'll talk more about his performance and what we saw out of J.J. McCarthy here in a second, but want to recommend BetQL as the go-to app that I use, that our whole team here at Chat Sports uses for betting on football, college football, NFL. I have won 4 out of the past 5 weeks that I've been using exclusively BetQL picks. Go to chatsports.com/MichiganQL. Use the promo code ChatMichigan. 25% off your subscription. It's $15 for just college or NFL, one sport. 25% off that. If you want both, it's $20 a month. So you get 25% off. You'll get their 5-star bets, 4-star bets. To give you guys, I'll do this though again. I'll wet the beak tomorrow. Dolphins +2, 5-star bet over the Falcons. All right, I'll give you one of those. I'll give you over/under 5-star. See, right now, it'll change before tomorrow, I'm sure. But right now, there's no 5-star bets. The only 4-star over/under they have is 49ers, Colts over 43 tomorrow. Chatsports.com/MichiganQL, promo code ChatMichigan. J.J. McCarthy got it done on the ground today. 2 runs, but they were both exciting, right? A 13-yarder and a 23-yarder. And he went 3 for 5 passing as well in this one. So let's not discount the arm that he brings to the table. But, folks, it's starting to become pretty clear to me that J.J. McCarthy needs to be the quarterback of this team going forward. I think Cade McNamara is a 7-0 quarterback, and he has certainly not turned the ball over, not taken a lot of sacks, 2 or 3 sacks in the entire year, 1 turnover. But he's just not getting the job done, I guess, aggressively down the field. So go ahead and type this down in the comments. Who should be the starting quarterback going forward? I don't think Michigan can make the change this week, right? You can't go into a road game against a top 10 team making a quarterback change, so it's not going to happen. But maybe you get him in the game a few times, J.J. McCarthy in the game a few times against Michigan State next week. And if he makes plays, right, he becomes your starting quarterback. He's a risk, but I think he's worth it. But let me know who you think should be starting quarterback going forward. Let's just say after the Michigan State game, going into Indiana week, type Cade or type JJ. Now, let's talk about this offensive game plan. It ain't it, okay? Michigan had some really head-scratching play calls every time they were in the red zone the entire game. The only thing that was working was line up 7 guys on the line of scrimmage, right? A couple tight ends or 1 tight end, 5 offensive linemen, maybe a fullback, etc. And just slam Hassan Haskins or Blake Corum into the line and hope that they'd shift and mook and make a play. I said juke and I said mook. I meant to say move and juke. I said mook, nevertheless. And that's not creative. That won't get the job done against Michigan State next week. It certainly won't get the job done against Ohio State, Penn State. We'll see what happens with them. But this team put up some decent yards this game, okay? 294 on the ground. We're back to getting near that 300 mark or in that 300 mark like they had the first 3 games of the season. It's clear that the running game can get it done against the scrub teams, okay? And that's what Northwestern is at this point. If you put up 294 against Michigan State, you're going to win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. 163 through the air. Almost nothing in the second half, right? 40-some yards passing in the second half and almost no passing yards. I'll have to check, but I would guess, I'll look back this. I'll check back with you guys on Tuesday or Wednesday. I bet Michigan had maybe 15 yards of passing inside the red zone the entire game. Put up 457 yards of offense, 33 points. Josh Gattis, folks, he's a bad offensive coordinator, and that is no cap for you old fogies out there. That means it ain't no lie. It's no joke. I'm not BSing you here. He's a bad offensive coordinator. He has a limited set of plays that can work consistently. Little dink and dunk plays or little 5-yard flare outs or tight ends, wide receiver curls. He has no downfield passing attack. If AJ Henning is not having a good game, he's got nothing to do. He has no creativity when it comes to any plays outside of slamming Haskins or Corum into the offensive line or getting a 5 or 6 yard curl or a tight end out or something like that. So Michigan clearly dominated the stats in this one. Okay. Northwestern had 2 big plays in the game out of 233 yards. I mean, that was not certainly half their yards, but it felt like half their yards. I think through 3 quarters, those 2 big plays were about half of their yards or more. They end up with 133 yards through the air, 100 yards through on the ground, and they almost had no rushing yards in the first half as a total. So Michigan's defense did a really good job. Cade McNamara on the day. Let's go one more recap, one more look at what McNamara did before we talk a little more about what transpired in this game down the second half and how Michigan got this win. 20 of 27, 1 of 3 passing in the second half. So pretty good across the board. But look, when you have no touchdowns, when you throw the ball 27 times, score 33 points, that means the coaches don't trust you in the red zone. It also means the coaches don't call plays in the red zone that give you the opportunity to make plays. So, Josh Gattis not calling the right plays, Cade McNamara not making the right plays when it's time to score points, won't win titles for this team. It's tough for me to say to start a true freshman who will be in his 8th game on the road against a top 10 team. That's probably a bad idea. But Michigan should strongly consider getting him 1 or 2 series in the first half against Michigan State, seeing what happens, and then giving him all the snaps going into the game against Indiana a week after that. Now, Cade McNamara proves me wrong. Michigan wins 35-10 against Michigan State. They put up 400 yards of offense. He throws for 200 plus. Cool. But from what I've saw today, he can't make any throws downfield. That's been proven all year. And now he can't make intermediary throws, and the Michigan coaches don't trust him in the red zone. So that combo right there will not win titles. Folks, if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It is the #1 most watched channel on YouTube for Michigan football, and about 140 subscribers behind the Michigan podcast. So it's youtube.com/Michigan TV. If you like what you see, if you want Michigan football videos every single day, this is the channel for you, youtube.com/Michigan TV. We're at 15,442. Help us get to 16,000. Hell, help us get to 15,500 as soon as we can. We certainly appreciate you watching, and we'd love if you subscribe and go down this journey with us throughout this season and beyond. Third quarter for this team, folks, was the difference in today's game. I'm going to kind of just glance at the box score here, give you a little insight to what Michigan did. 14 rushing attempts for 114 yards. This is crazy. 0 pass completions in that third quarter for Michigan. Kind of wild to think about. You complete 0 passes, but still dominate the quarter for the most part with 114 yards. Now, Northwestern, only 1 rushing yard in that third quarter. So shout out to the Michigan defense. They came to play. We'll talk more about them in a second. Michigan wins the quarter 17-0 is the third quarter is the difference. Then they score 6 points, a couple field goals there in the third quarter for the 33-7 win. I told you about BetQL at the beginning of the show and did the read about how great their picks are. If you're nervous about getting a subscription with somebody and diving in and you don't know what you're getting into, they understand that. We understand that. So get going with this deal here instead. Chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. I'll put the link down in the comments and the description of this video. All it costs is $10. You have got to use that link. Then choose your state. Chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. Let's say you're in the state of Michigan. Bing! You'll go to BetMGM's deal with BetQL. Sign up, make a $10 deposit. When you make your first $10 bet, once that bet has settled within 24 hours, BetQL will email you with a link for a free 1-year subscription. That's a $180 value. Don't miss out on that one. That's a great deal. I've done it. I've put on half of my friends, pretty much all my friends have gotten that deal. Chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. Now, the running backs. And another banner performance, right? When you've got 2 running backs who are now on pace to have well over 1,000 yards, that's pretty cool to see. It's a testament to this offensive line. It's a testament to Mike Carr. And we'll give Josh Grass a little credit, right? He's the offensive coordinator that's putting those plays together. 19 for 119 for Blake Corum, 23 for 110 for Hassan Haskins, 2 touchdowns for both of them. And that was pretty much the offense for Michigan on the day against Northwestern. Now, on the other side of the ball, the defense continues to impress. Mike McDonald shut out in the second half. Only gave up 1 big play, 70 or so yards right after Michigan kicked a field goal to go up 10-0. That's right. Northwestern gets that long run. A couple safeties, a couple linebackers were out of position. Guy skirts right up the middle, goes to the long touchdown. But let's look at the overall stats for this Northwestern team. 133 yards passing, only 100 yards rushing, and 70 or so came on that one play. So outside of that one play, they had 25 or so yards rushing, 233 yards of total offense, 7 points on that one play. If not for that one, Michigan likely throws a shutout against Northwestern. So great defense today from Mike McDonald's squad. And how about this guy, right? Let's end the show with this. DJ Turner had himself a day. That interception, beautiful, remarkable, right? Did Vincent Gray play today? I'm doing the show as fast as possible, so I'm not looking at the participation chart. But I saw G-Mon Green, obviously Daxton Hill. G.J. Turner seemed like he was the starter out there. Maybe Vincent Gray was hurt. I didn't pay that much attention to it. So if you're watching this and you already know what the deal with Gray is, good for you. Tweet at me if you think you've got the answer. But it was like him and the receiver go up for it. The ball goes up. He tips it once. He tips it twice. He tips the third step, grabs it, takes it back a little bit. What a day for him. I just want to take a glance at his stats just briefly, if you'll bear with me for one moment. Mr. DJ Turner had 3 tackles, a tackle for loss, and three-yard loss on that tackle for loss. And then he had that 1 interception, which he returned for 23 yards, folks. If he's your starting quarterback, it is a welcome addition, a guy who can make plays. We haven't seen that enough from Vincent Gray. We have not seen that enough from G-Mon Green. DJ Turner, hey, look, he came to play, and it's good to see. All right, I'm going to head to Las Vegas tomorrow, but before I do, I'm going out there for the Raiders game. Before I do, I'm going to come here into the office at 6 a.m. for my Michigan football overreaction Sunday. I'm going to think about all the things you guys are freaking out about. Looking forward to this Michigan State game next week. Put out a video for you on Sunday, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Go Blue.